And the way you talk to yourself is in your control, is something you can do. We create these blocks in our mind. We are playing victims to our life's experience. I know this is going to sound insane. I know it's going to be like, Jamie, they're just words, or I'm joking. It's whatever. Yeah. Uh-huh. Why would you joke about your power and your potential? How can you make a culture around you about your power, about what's possible? We tell our subconscious to either get on board with the transformations, the changes we want to make, or we tell them to stop us at every stage. We are in this control. We have this potential. Welcome to the Limitless Podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs become radically aware of their limiting beliefs, learn to value their worth, generate wealth, and to thrive as a magnetic brand leader. I'm your host, Jamie Raterman, a six-figure holistic business coach. I've helped over 100 rebellious entrepreneurs master marketing, embody leadership, and say fuck it to the hustle. Let's dive in. Hello, lovelies, and welcome to another episode of the Limitless Podcast. I'm pretty pumped about what we're going to talk about today. But in general, I want to just allude to the fact that if there's anything I really want to get across with this podcast is that we get to choose our story. And I think part of that is being able to choose it every single day. So I want to mention this again later, but I want to just talk about how you start your day. So I'm going to put into the show notes an opportunity for you to see how you can simply create a practice of building a growth mindset and manifesting what you want in your life in the morning. So I'm a big journaler. I love it a lot, but I went ahead and put my manifestation and growth mindset practice into the show notes so you can go ahead and sign up. It explains exactly how to do it, essentially telling you how you can build in a practice of scripting what you want for the day, what you want to visualize for your future by asking, believing, receiving, and then of course choosing your aligned action. So we're instead of just walking into the day and doing your to-do list, we lean into the why. We lean into where we're headed. So in general, I want to just make sure that you know about this resource just because it's done wonders for a lot of my clients to just feel that they can see where they're headed in their day. A lot of my clients have loved it. So I've been giving it to them. Now it's time for you to have the chance. So it's completely free and you can absolutely sign up in the show notes. So please do check that out. But today it's in line with exactly what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about how we get to write our story. So not just within our journaling every day, but what this looks like. So I want to just talk about something really specific. If we all belittle ourselves, we all have this unfortunate habit of complaining instead of being able to take our power back. And I think that's really what this episode's about. It keeps you stuck. If you decide that you're going to be your own worst critic, if you decide that you're going to complain about your circumstances, you'll stay there. You'll stay right there. How we talk to ourselves and how we even talk about ourselves absolutely impacts the way we see things, the actions we take, what we're going to be able to do with our lives. So I want you to realize how you talk to yourself is going to be the thing that makes a difference. The words you use hold energy. But essentially what you're saying is you're conscious that 5% of our brain, the way it speaks, the way it talks, is sending these messages to our subconscious, the 95% of part of our brain who makes our decisions automatic for us, that keeps us in our comfort zone or makes us more comfortable. They're communicating. And the first step you can take is starting to edit the way you speak. So our conscious is going to be repeating it back to our subconscious, right? So in general, you may right now be telling your subconscious that, hey, she says this is hard, so it's going to be too hard, okay? Or she hates doing this, so just get her to stop doing it. Tell her self-sabotage, have her do something else, right? Or she hasn't decided yet, so she's too anxious to do it. Don't do it. Or she knows what to do, but for some reason doesn't think she's capable. She knows something we don't. She's not capable of this. It's not possible for her. Okay? So that's just by the words that you're using, your brain is going to take this, receive this information, and go, let's build systems to keep her where she is. Let's build systems that are going to continue to block her from what she wants to receive, what she wants in her life. So I just want you to hear me when I say your words hold energy. And the way you talk to yourself is in your control, is something you can do. We create these blocks in our mind. We are playing victims to our life's experience. I know this is going to sound insane. I know it's going to be like, Jamie, there's words. I'm joking. It's whatever. Yeah. Uh-huh. Why would you joke about your power and your potential? How can you make a culture around you about your power, about what's possible? We tell our subconscious to either get on board with the transformations, the changes we want to make, or we tell them to stop us at every stage. We are in this control. We have this potential. Don't worry. This ends today. If you are currently not your biggest cheerleader, this ends today. If your inner critic is too damn loud, I'm going to introduce her to somebody. Her name is your thriving self, the person who's going to show you you're capable, is going to show you you're safe in reaching your goals. She's strong as hell, I can tell you that much. But we're going to eliminate these words. We're going to eliminate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's more than 6 words, but in general, we're going to remove these words from your vocabulary. So let me just go ahead and start at the top. Have to and need to. Have to and need to. So if you have the tendency to say, I have to do this before this, or I need this money every month, or I need someone to help, I need, you are essentially deciding that you don't have control. If these are things in your practice every single day, you are going, I have no control over this, and I'm desperate for somebody to come in and fix it for me. I'm desperate for things to change. In practice, saying have to, need to are absolutely going to be something that has you going, all right, my energy's low. I'm not capable of doing this. What, like in general, we want to go, wait, I have the power to change my circumstances in any moment, any situation, any time frame. So instead of saying I have to or I need to, I want you to go, I choose to. I get to. The most powerful, I am. So I need to make money this month. I get to make more money this month. I have to build a business. I am a business owner. See how there's a little bit of a difference there? There's power in the way we speak, right? I have to make sales. I get to make sales this month. Hey, I believe the second version of that, right? Same thing goes for should, right? Should is have to and need to, but with pressure. Like it's in the same vein where should saying that you feel desperate for whatever it is whatever it is you want there, and you've decided to apply extra pressure to getting that thing, right? So I should be making more money. Okay. I should. Great. I choose to make more money. I am making more money. Do you see how it's like we are breathing it into existence? We are knowing it's powerful. We are knowing it's going to happen. We are seeing the power of what we're creating. So right now, if you have the tendency to say, I need to, take a moment, go like, I need to post today. I get to post today. I need to reach out to that client. I choose to reach out to that client I'm looking forward to. Just start to adjust. You're going to feel it pretty quickly just in the energy of what you're saying. And from there, the more you catch yourself, the easier this gets. Let's keep going though. Another word that is important to think about is try. Stop saying try. This one, I'm sure, even when I was writing it down on my list, I know that once when I say it, it's this idea that like, wait, what's wrong with trying? Like, it's okay to try, right? What's wrong with that? always in context first, but also it's allowing you to kind of say like if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, or it's okay if I don't do it. It's like I'm trying, or that kind of thing. I think the best way for me to kind of reference this is like some of my friends and their past boyfriends is I'm like, you guys haven't had date night in a while? What's going on? Well, he's trying to make time for me. Is he trying or is he doing? Is he going to do it or is he not? Same thing goes for the way you speak. I'll try to post more. I'll try to sell. What? Like, what are you trying? Do make the decision. I think there's so much to be said about when we're speaking in uncertainty or we're living in uncertainty, all we got to do is decide. Make the decision. That's the number one thing. Whatever happens with the decision you make, you have your own back to fix it later, or you're going to reap the benefits from it. So instead of saying, I'll try to post more, being, I'm creating more. I am selling my program. In my opinion, I am, when it comes to actions, right, is such a strong thing. It's like you're holding the identity of, I will, it will happen. I will do it. It's going to come to fruition. So try saying, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Saying I am is saying in the process, it's going to happen. So removing I'll try and say I am. Address that. Next one I will really want to get across, and I think it might hit a little punchier here. Can't. Stop saying it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this comes up so often when I have clients who are starting to get a little bolder or wanting to raise their prices or wanting to, in general, like challenge themselves to try things they're no good at. I can't talk on camera. I can't um raise my prices. I can't make that happen. This one is just easy. I'm going to tell you just what to switch it to, and you see if the way in which you use can't is actually what you mean, right? So instead say, I'm choosing not to. That's all that I just want you to see the difference. Instead of saying can't, say, I choose not to. I choose not to raise my prices. I choose not to try this new skill. Look at me. I just said try. I choose not to learn this new skill. And then I choose not to make more money. I can't make more money, whatever that might look like. By saying it, one, we're speaking what the truth is. So you can do anything you put your mind to, period. There's no I can or I can't. There's no such thing. It may not happen like this. You can't snap your fingers that it's going to immediately happen. But instead of saying you're unable or you're incapable, we're saying I choose not to. So there's going to be instances if you switch this phrasing from I can't to I choose not to, that you'll say, you're right, I choose not to. I don't want to do that. And I don't have to. Beautiful. But again, we're bringing back that power. I am choosing not to do that because that's not a priority for me. That's not important for me right now. Okay. But also, you're going to find that if you tend to say I can't a lot, if you say I choose not to, and it's truly the desire, truly the thing you want, you're going to be like, well, that's not true. Like, I don't, I choose to have more sales. I choose to raise my prices. I choose to love my business. I can't. No, I choose not to see it in a different way. So I think this is a really great example of like when somebody will talk to me about their content specifically, whenever they're feeling a little bit frustrated by having to learn the skill of video editing or learn the skill of writing in their captions. Like, I can't write like you do. Okay. Like for one, that's one thing that comes up because clearly as a coach, I'm bringing in all my marketing experience and somebody will say, I can't write, I can't tell stories as good as you do. And I'm like, oh, thanks. That's wonderful that you said that. But let's be truthful. You're choosing not to. I choose not to build a skill. that's important to my business. I choose not to prioritize my health. I keep giving examples for the fact that as soon as I realized when I was saying this about myself, it was like, who the hell told you that you can't do something? What the hell? Like, this is important to me. Of course I can do it. When I say I can't, it's almost like I'm immediately going to have that fight with that inner critic going like, who said that? Because I know I can. Right now, I don't have the time. I will have the time at this date. I'll choose to do it at that time. So when we're coming around, thinking about how our words hold power and hold energy, I'm going to even say this. I've listed a couple words to remove here. I'm going to tell you can't is the number one. If I want you to catch yourself when you say you can't do something and start to consider how you're choosing not to, how you're choosing not to see yourself in that more powerful way. So while I encourage you to look at your have tos, need tos, shoulds, tries, can't has got to be one of the most powerful for you to go, I am capable. I'm powerful as fuck. And I choose not to do certain things at the times until I'm ready to choose to do them. Okay. I feel like I'm going on a little tangent, so I want to pull it back. I want to pull it back. Next words that we could remove from our vocabulary are always or never. Now, I have two in here, or two sets of words and phrases that absolutely are generalizations. We never want to generalize. Generalizing is going to kind of create these like limiting barriers in the way we see ourselves. So, generalization is a big one. So, I'll talk about how I hear it most often. It always takes me 3 hours to write an email. I never get my posts out on time. So what is this saying? If somebody says this to me, they're saying, I'm going to be spending so much time on this and it's never going to get better. I will never grow to a point where I can do this in less time. When someone says, I always take 3 hours to write an email, my immediate thought is, today it took you 3 hours to write an email. Tomorrow it could take you 20 minutes because you tried. Oh my goodness. Try might be a word that I got to figure out. But in general, you tomorrow you're going to get better. Tomorrow it's going to be easier. So the the opposite of generalizing is to leave room for progress, is to leave room for practice and really understanding that we get better in the process. Or even to I never get my post out on time is saying that you have no ability to change that. These are things that are, again, in your control. Again, we get better at. So instead of saying that, we're going to switch these around. So if we get rid of the generalization, we're going to say, it's taken me 3 hours to write a newsletter before, and I'll get faster. We're not trying to create and dilute what's true or what's not true. Yeah, it has taken you 3 hours, and I'll get faster. I've had difficulty hitting a posting schedule, and I'm taking a new approach that fits my lifestyle. If something hasn't worked for you in the past, it means that we're allowed to tinker and adjust, right? So getting rid of always and never just means speaking truth and believing in your growth, believing that there's always a solution. That's a good way to use always, because there's always a solution. So it's taken me 3 hours to write a newsletter and I'll get faster. There's always a solution. I've had difficulty hitting a posting schedule and I'm taking a new approach that fits my lifestyle. We are progressing. We are growing. Think about it a little bit differently. Another way we can look at generalizations, and in my opinion, is even worse than the first ones I just said, where is everybody and nobody. So these are feelings normally. These are fears and feelings more than they are ever facts. So instead, when somebody says everybody or nobody, there's almost like these lights go off, these sirens go off saying, okay, there's an underlying fear that she hasn't discovered yet. There's an underlying fear that she's not willing to see. So those are my way of going, okay, when they say everybody or nobody, let's reflect. What's the true emotion? You're making this declarative statement about yourself or your future or the people around you that's truly not in reality. That's like we want to bring it back. So this usually comes in the thought of nobody will sign up for my program. And again, like I'll go like that's not fact, that's feelings. That as a coach, especially when we're working through this in marketing mastery, especially when we're working through this in Thrive, I'll be like, is that fact? And they're like, So instead of saying that, like I have a fear that I'm not going to get as many sign-ups as I want. Okay, what can we do to change that? Instead of this, it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to, it's defeating. The discussion is over. Nobody's going to sign up. We're done. Instead of saying, I have a fear that I'm not going to get as many signups as I want. Let's go ahead and honor that fear and to say, we can choose we can choose to make it better. We can choose to move past this. Okay. Everybody will leave when I raise my prices. Everybody will leave when I raise my prices. Oh yeah? Who told you? Is it going to be a revolt? Who said so? These are feelings. These are fears. So the opposite end of this might be if I raise my prices, some of my clients may not want to work, may not have the money to work with me. Okay. We're opening room for the clients who can, and we're opening your time to potentially give those clients that don't have as much to spend, we'll give them another opportunity where they can. We're not going to forget them. Okay. So whenever when we're talking about any of these generalizations, we are giving this external, we are giving like in general ex everything outside of ourselves to make things happen. Like even like always and never, the first generalizations I mentioned, those are just trying to keep you where you're at and believing that nothing will change. It's not true. We know that we can always choose to grow. And then when it comes to everybody and nobody, we are deciding that our fears are facts. They're not. We need to move through our emotions, move through our feelings, and understand we're allowed to have fears, but they're not evidence. They wouldn't hold up in court. So remove these. Try to release these from your vocabulary. The last one here, which I will tell you is one of the hardest ones for me, is but. Now, even to as far as grammar is concerned, I'm somebody who, like, when I was in college, I actually tutored in grammar. So, like, this one was probably one of the hardest pieces because I was like, wait, but it's a important part to combining sentences, like, in, like all of the things, but in general, but stop using it. So, like, but as in B-U-T. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking about booties on here, but B-U-T. So in general, whenever you use the word but too frequently, when it doesn't make sense in a sentence, especially when you're talking about yourself, your business, what you want, what you're doing is negating. Like whatever you say in the first part of your sentence, you're saying when you say but it's not going to happen, like but it's not going to happen. Like I am selling my program, but I haven't received a sale. So what happens in that sentence is like even though you're selling your program, you're telling your art that but is going like, yeah, but it's not going to work. The idea here, and it's a very easy switch, but it's just catching yourself in the moment, is saying and. Just putting and in the statement. If you can say and, you're going to feel the immediate difference. And again, I will, like I'm telling you, this is one of my hardest ones that I had to figure out. I am selling my new program and I can't wait to receive my first sale. Same same definition of what the first sentence was, but this is different, okay? So We're going to honor that two things can always be true by removing the word but. Let's practice this a little bit more because I think it hit me so hard. I want to make sure that I give you a couple of examples. I'm enjoying showing up on social media, but I am not getting many likes. So in that sentence, we are saying that getting likes is more important than the way you're showing up on social. That how much engagement you're going to get is more important than what you're actually saying in those posts. I am enjoying showing up on social media and I'd like to get more engagement. Same definition. We're just removing this idea of but. The way this sentence is formed, this is how we see it psychologically. I'm not just saying like, oh, just change these words. These words hold energy. So if we want to believe in our possibility, if we want to take our power back, if we want to know how we can grow, we got to choose to create a really positive environment around us. That's where we're beginning. That's where we start. So if we want to really rewrite our story, we want to get rid of these words. And I'm just going to list them off here to remind you. Have to, need to, should. Get rid of those three. We're going to get rid of desperation. We're going to bring back our control. Try. I want you to decide. We're deciding. Same thing goes for can't. You are always capable, but you're choosing not to. You're deciding not to do something. So try and can't. I decide to post more. I choose not to focus on that right now. So have to, need to, should, try, can't, uh, always and never. We're going to stop with the generalizations. Everybody and nobody, release those. And of course, but we're not using this conjunction anymore. We're releasing it. I know that's a lot of words, common words, a lot of things that you want to say. This week, I'm going to ask you, though, simply just notice. Notice what's going on. Choose just one of these words. So for me, like I said, but was the one that I had the most difficulty with. I chose to just look at, okay, how often do I say it? Even when I'm typing, even when I'll read through it, and if I have comma but in a sentence, I'm like, is it actually supposed to say but? Like, or it doesn't make sense for what I'm saying. It was just so common for me. So I chose to focus on that one first. So when you choose just one of these words, you're helping yourself to get out of victim mode. You're not just sitting back, you're going, oh, I am a powerful, energetic, full of potential being who gets to choose to see her own power. At first, I know, again, like this is going to be difficult. It took me a while, but you currently are in the habit of dimming your light. We are wanting to, blind ourselves with how much and we believe in ourselves. That's the goal here. So instead, use these words to start to just raise your brightness, see what's possible. Writing a new story of who you are starts here. Starts with how you talk to yourself. Do me a favor. Once you listen to this episode, go ahead and tell me over on Instagram at Jamie Raterman. So JamieRatermann. Feel free to DM me. Tell me which word you're deciding is going to be your start, how you're going to begin to get out of victim mode and rewrite your story. Go ahead and even too, if you want to share this episode, tag me, whatever. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, I want to help you to manifest and create this grander vision, this power that you have. I want you to start by journaling in the morning and manifesting what you want. So if you want to create this grander vision, use my manifestation and growth mindset journal guide. So you can ask, believe, and just activate the thriving self that we were talking about. You can do that and find that in the show notes. Until then, please live a little more limitless.